What's going on, fellow Spider-Man fans? This is Solid Dave Snake wrapping up my reviews for the Spider-Man Marvel Legends Infinite Series Build-A-Figure Green Goblin wave. And after buying all the action figures in the wave that have the corresponding Build-A-Figure pieces to create this Green Goblin. And this Green Goblin is based off of how he looks in the Ultimate Universe. So it's not that classic Green Goblin look. And I could see why a lot of people wouldn't want to build this Build-A-Figure if you're not a fan of that Ultimate series. And I'm not even really a fan of it, but I thought it was neat enough of a Build-A-Figure to warrant getting some of the figures that I didn't even really want to build it. But one of the neatest things to me about this Build-A-Figure are the fire accessories that he comes with. And he comes with two for his arms, which they are just on hooks that go right around his wrist. The plastic is shaped like a C to fit right around there. And he has a big one on his back, which I'll show that one off first. And it's really neat because they're a translucent yellow plastic. Yellow and orange mixed in there to give that fire effect. And I love these pieces because I can use them in other displays with other action figures as a fire effect. And I really think these arm ones are neat too, the way they come up. And both fire pieces for the arms are actually a little different. They are not sculpted the same, if you can tell. So I love those pieces. And the Green Goblin himself is kind of a retooled mold off of the Hulk from the last Avengers movie line. And it has basically the same body, but a lot of retooled parts, like these little bone pieces coming out of his arm and his face. His head sculpt is actually totally new. And I really like that look with the horns and the red eyes and the gritting teeth. Get him in a little closer here. Get a light in a little more here so you can see that detail right there in his eyes, how they're colored red. And I do like that extra sculpting with the spiky bones coming out. And even giving him that appearance of a spiked beard right here. And his hands are sculpted a little different than that initial Hulk with the claws. And the same thing with his feet. They have extra big toenails. So they're kind of a unique sculpt as well. But his pants are those same ripped up blue jeans. And he is pretty big. Get another Marvel Legend. I've got the new Spider-Man Marvel Legend. I'll stand beside him and you can see how big this Ultimate Green Goblin is. And he has some neat articulation. He has a ball joint for the head, which will rotate all the way around and look that far down and that far up. So not too wide of a up and down movement there. At the shoulders, he's got a ball joint and hinge, which will only go as far up as those spikes allow. But he can rotate all the way around and has a bicep cut that will rotate. And double hinged elbows, which you can get a great range of movement out of and look good when they're all the way straight with those spikes. And he has the ball hinge here at the wrist as well, which will allow his wrist to go that far down and that far up and of course rotate all the way around. He has this articulation point here at the diaphragm, which will only go that far back, which allows him to pretty much just have a straight back, but he will crunch really far forward. And you can actually twist it from side to side there and get a little bit of pivot back and forth. And at the hips he has the ball joint and hinge, but you have to rotate the ball if you want it to hinge forward. And this leg on mine comes off really easy, this right leg. I have yet to really get it in there tight. However, this other leg, the left leg, feels nice and tight on mine. But he does have double jointed knees and a ball joint and hinge at the ankles, which will let his foot go all the way back and back up straight, and you can get the ankle pivot out of him too. So all in all, he's a pretty neat build-a-figure. There's been better, and there's better coming, but he's still pretty massive and looks pretty neat, even though he's basically a retooled Hulk mold. So, alright guys, that'll wrap it up for the Spider-Man Marvel Legend reviews, and I will be picking up a couple others out of the new wave. Like, I already have this new Spider-Man, like I said, so stay tuned for some more Spider-Man Marvel Legend reviews in the near future. Later.